Good morning. This is Professor Cardetto with the last mini video of Math G. We're going to go over problems on homework 24. There will also be a live lecture later this morning where we'll go over many more problems. I'm going to preview the assignment here. And when you first open it up, you're going to be a little bit confused because you're going to see a sign that you've never seen before. You might have seen it before on a fraternity at a college. It's a capital sigma. Kind of looks like the letter E, but it doesn't mean anything but the sum. It means you're adding up a bunch of terms here. Actually, we're adding up 20 terms. So there's a long way to do this, and then there's a formula. If you want to spend more time and not use the formula, what we do here is this notation is called summation notation. We use 1. We start with 1. It says j is 1. It says j plus 1. So if we put 1 in for j, 1 plus 1 is 2. So that's the first term. Now, instead of separating it with a comma, we're going to add what the next term is. The next term is, well, we go up from 1. We go from 1 to 20. So the next number is 2. And we plug 2 in. 2 plus 1 is 3. And then we go and we plug in the next number. We plugged in 1 and we got 2. We plugged in 2 and we got 3. And now we plug in 3. 3 plus 1, so we get 4. So basically this is, I'll put that dot, dot, dot because you can see the pattern. It's an arithmetic, instead of arithmetic sequence, it's called an arithmetic series because we have we're adding all them up when you have a series of numbers. And the last number, if we plugged in 20, 20 plus 1 is 21. Okay, so if you wanted to take your calculator out and just punch in 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8, and the last one would be plus 21, and it equals, that's the long way to do it. I don't suggest doing it that way. I wouldn't do it that way. But in order to do it another way, you're going to have to use a formula. So grab a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen and write down this formula here for the sum. I'm going to use S for sum of an arithmetic series. The sum of an arithmetic series is this formula. I'll write it down and then I'll talk about it. There it is. So when we're adding up a bunch of numbers that are arithmetic, remember arithmetic is they go up by the same amount or they go down by the same amount. All we need to know is the number of terms, n. Well, the number of terms from 1 to 20 is 20. We divide that by 2. And then remember a sub 1. A sub 1 is the first term. First term's right there, 2. A sub n is the last term. The last term is what we get when we plug in 20 to j. So the last term is 21. And we just do the math. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 2 plus 21 is 23. And 23 times 10 is 230. So we put 230 right there. Added up all those numbers, 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8, all the way up to 21, we would get 230. Check my answer. Get the green check mark. Okay. You're going to find those problems 1 through 6. 1 through 6 are going to be that way. Starting on number 7. they give you the series, but they have it written out in, they just call this expanded form. They don't use the sigma notation. And so what we have to do to use the formula is we have the first term. We have the first term. The first term's right here. Here's the first term. We have the last term. We just don't have the number of terms. It's definitely arithmetic. It goes up by 2. So we have to use a formula that we talked about. I believe we talked about this in homework number 22. It's the arithmetic series formula or sequence formula. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus, look back in your notes and you should have this one, n minus 1 times d. So this needs to be used to find n. We have to find the number of terms. I guess we could just write this out and then just count the number of terms. If we just put the numbers in for this dot, 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 like the next one would be 10, and then 12, and then 14. But again, I don't particularly like doing it that way. I like using formulas. So that's 30. That's my nth term. 4 is my first term. N is something I don't know, so I'll leave it as n. Remember to put n minus 1 in the parentheses. And then d, your common difference here is 2. So I will solve this equation for n. Let's see, I'm going to subtract 4. I'm going to make this 26. So that's gone. I'm going to divide both sides by 2 because I just, instead of multiplying it out, I noticed that 26 is divided by 2 is 13. So I have n minus 1. And then I add 1 to both sides, so I get 14. So I know there's 14 terms. So there's 14 terms here. So here the formula for the sum is n over 2. Okay, so it's 14 over 2. 14 over 2 times a sub 1, which is 4, plus a sub n, which is 30. So that's going to be, let's see, it's going to be 7 times 34. What's 7 times 34? 34 times 7, it's 238. So that goes in here. 238. Okay. My answer. All right. You're going to find those questions 7 through 13. They're going to give you the expanded series, and you're going to have to find n first. Let's see. When we get to problem 14, it's a little different. So let's skip to 14. Okay, so 14, it's a two-parter. Again, we're going back to a series or sigma notation. Remember, this means you're adding up terms. In this case, we have 4 terms. So it wants you to write the series in expanded form. Okay, so expanded form just means you're going to write it out the longer way with the plus signs. So always start with what it says here. Usually it says 1, but if it said 2, we're going to start with 2. So it says I equals 1. So I'm going to plug 1 in. I'm going to plug 1 in. Plug 1 in for I. And so that's going to be, the first term is going to be 9 times 3 raised to the 1 minus 1 power. Well, that's 0. And we know that anything raised to the 0 power is equal to 1. So your first term is 9 times 1. So your first term is 9. So then we plug in 2. We plug in 2. 9 times 3 raised to the 2 minus 1 power is 1. So 3 to the first power is 3. 3 times 9 is 27. So the next term is plus 27. The next term, if we plug in 3, it's 9. We plugged in 1 and got this. We plugged in 2 and we got this. We plug in 3 and we have 3 to the second power. 3 to the second power is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. So if you notice, this is not an arithmetic series anymore. It's a geometric series. We have to do it one more time, though. One more time to write it in expanded form. 4, we plug 4 in, so we go 9 times 3, and 4 minus 1 is 3, so 3 to the third. 3 to the third is 27, and 27 times 9 is 243. Okay. So this is what we put in the box right here. We put that exact, we don't want to add them up yet. We want to write it in expanded form. So you actually type that in. 9 plus 27 plus 81 plus 243. Check your answer. Okay. Now, the second part asks you to find the sum. Again, you could actually find the sum by just adding these up. Okay. You can just punch them in your calculator. 9 plus 27 plus 81 plus 243. I get 360. I get 360 when I add them up. This is for part 2. I get 360. Okay. But just like the arithmetic series has a formula, a geometric series also has a formula for the sum. So let me give you that formula here. I'll start with S for sum. Okay, it's a sub 1 minus r to the n power over 1 minus r. Give you a chance to write that down. We're going to get 360, but we're going to get 360 without having to add up all of these numbers. There's only 4 of them, so really it probably is just as fast by just adding them all up. But let's say there was like 15 numbers, right? So we need to know what the first term is. Well, the first term is 9. We need to know what r is. Remember, r is the common ratio. It's what this is being multiplied by. So it's being multiplied by a 3. We need to know n. We need to know the number of terms, and that's 4. And that's what r is raised to. And then it's 1 minus r. So this is 1 minus r is 3. So if we do this, this is 9. In parentheses, 3 to the 4th power is 3 raised to the 4th power is 81. So this is going to be 1 minus 81 over 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Okay, so I have 1 minus 81. Well, 1 minus 81 is a negative 80. So negative 80 times 9, that's a negative 720. I divide that by a negative 2, and I end up getting positive 360. Okay, so you're welcome to either use the formula or do it the long way and just add up all those numbers. You're going to find those problems 14 through 16. 14, I think that was 14. Yeah, 14 through 16 are going to be like that. And then I believe you'll be able to do, let's see, 17. 17. Okay, well, 17 gives you the series. It just asks you to find the sum. So again, if you wanted to add all these terms up, you could just add them all up. Um, however, I'm not going to add them up. I'm going to use the formula. So the formula is uh, for the geometric series. When you add them up, the formula is the one I just wrote down previously. It's a sub 1 times 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. So a sub 1 right here, 1/3. 1 minus r to the n. Well, what's r? What's this being multiplied by? What's it being multiplied by? Let's just look at this. How do you go from 3 to -9? I would say you're multiplying by a -3. Multiplying by a -3. So this r is a -3. I'm going to put it like this. And n, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. Okay. And this is over 1 minus r. 1 minus r is 1 minus a -3. Okay. So just figure out what this is. I'm going to leave the 1/3 there. 1/3. Let's see. -3 to the 5th power. A negative raised to the 5th power is still negative. So that's, let's see, 3 to the 5th power is 243. So that's going to be 1 minus a -243. And that's really 1 plus 243. So 1 plus 243 is 244. So it's 1/3 times 244 divided by 1 minus a -3 is 4. Okay, so this is 244 over 1 times 3, so that's going to be 244 over 3, divided by 4, so that's multiplied by 1/4. That's the same as dividing something by 4. I'm just doing this so I can work with the fractions. I think 4 is going to go into 244. 244 divided by 4 is 61. So this right here is 61. So I have 61 on top, and I have 3 on the bottom. 61 on top and 3 on the bottom is going to be my sum. There is a fraction tool there, and they do want you to leave it as a improper fraction. So I put 61 on top, and I put 3 on the bottom. Check my answer. And it's got a green check mark right there. Okay. Okay. I think you should be able to do the rest of these problems on homework 24. If you get stuck, make sure to go back and watch the live lecture taking place this morning. And then this is my last mini video. So the final exam should be available for you to take as early as Thursday. I'll be going over any questions that you have on Thursday's Zoom. So try to attend. Otherwise, Hopefully, you guys learned some math this last 8 weeks, and good luck in your future classes.